Will you find out if you're having a boy or girl before you give birth? This has to be my #1 asked question. Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to sit down and do a huge Q&A video for you because with the announcement of baby #2 and everything, I feel like you guys just have a ton of questions for me. Eloise just bumped the tripod, that's why it shook. Are you going to join me for this video? So I went on Instagram stories and I told you guys just to ask me questions, and I got an overwhelming amount of questions. And I know I'm not going to be able to answer them all, so I'm really sorry if I don't answer your question in this video. But I think I'm going to be like setting myself a timer and then just answering as many as I can in that time. Otherwise this video would be way too long. But before I get into this, if you are new to my channel, my name is Delilah and I make motherhood and lifestyle videos. I upload a vlog every single Tuesday and a different video every single Saturday. I am 22, I'm married to my husband, we have a 1-year-old daughter, and we have another baby on the way who is due in April. If that interests you at all, I would absolutely love it if you would hit the subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification button, because I've been told that some of you aren't getting the notifications when my videos go up, so if you hit that button you should definitely be notified as soon as my videos come out. I'm setting a timer for 1 hour. So hopefully this doesn't get too long. What's one thing you're nervous about going from 1 to 2 little ones? I think I got asked that question a lot. The biggest thing I'm worried about is how I'm going to be able to handle everything, because when Eloise was first born, I felt like I couldn't handle it. Like, it was almost too much for me. Plus YouTube on top of everything. Like, I mean, I know I'm gonna take breaks from YouTube and I'm gonna do that just for my sake, for the baby's sake, so I can take care of everybody. But I think I'm gonna have a really hard time adjusting to having to take care of 2 little ones. Eloise is a bit of a high demand child, so I'm just really hoping this next baby is pretty easy going, because oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna juggle everything and how I'm gonna find time to do everything. I feel like it took me almost a year to get to the point with Eloise where I can juggle everything and I have a bit of spare time for myself. Having another baby on top of everything, I don't know. That's the one thing I'm really nervous about, is juggling everything. How do you deal with negative comments on social media? It's different for each comment and it depends on how I'm feeling. If I get a negative comment on a day that I'm feeling hormonal and low and like not in a very good place, it can be really devastating, and it's really hard not to like comment back with a mean comment. But I know that these people who are commenting mean comments are either jealous or hurting themselves, and hurting people hurt people, so I'm trying to remember that. I'm trying really hard not to get angry when I get those comments. I'm trying to let it just slide off and not worry about it, because I get so many good comments compared to the bad comments, so I shouldn't let one bad comment ruin my day. I don't know, it's tricky, it's really tricky. Do you want to try for a fully natural birth like Eloise, or do you want an epidural this time? I'm gonna go fully natural if I can. Chances are I'm gonna have another really fast labor. I think it's really hard to know. I mean, it could be totally different than Eloise, but Eloise was a 2.5-hour labor and I did not have time for an epidural. So I did it all completely natural. I know if I've done it once, I can do it again. I definitely want to go for the natural birth. I loved how Eloise's birth went. It was perfect. I just hope it will go as smoothly this time as it did with her. Do you plan to sleep train baby #2, or will you follow babe's cues and go with the flow? With Eloise, she had a lot of sleeping problems. And she needed that little bit of independence in order to sleep, and I didn't really realize that until we did sleep train her, because we were co-sleeping and she was waking up frequently, and every single time she moved, I thought she was waking up and needed something, when in fact she was simply a restless sleeper and needed her space. So for her, sleep training was the best thing we could have done. She just really needed that space and independence to like move around. But with this baby, it's going to be a little bit different because we don't have a room for this baby in our house. So this baby's going to be in our room for probably quite a while, until it's almost sleeping through the night, I guess. So we won't really have that opportunity to sleep train the way that we did with Eloise. If worse comes to worse, we will try sleep training the baby in our own room, I guess, but I really want to try and avoid it if at all possible. It just really depends on the baby's needs. Do you have names picked out yet? Yes, we do. We have 2 names that we really like for a girl, one for sure name. And we're kind of iffy on the boy names, but we've got 2 that we kind of like. So we do have names picked out. Is there anything you want to do differently with this pregnancy or baby than you did with your first? Yes, definitely. Being a first-time parent, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was stressed about every little thing, and I worried about every little thing because I had never experienced it before. I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm a lot more relaxed than I was in the beginning. So I'm gonna be a lot more chill this time around, I think. I've done it before, so I kind of know what to expect. Although every baby's different, it's not gonna be the same, obviously, but I have experience. Oh, and another thing I'm gonna do, which I think kind of led to Eloise's sleeping problems, is I'm not going to run to the baby the second it makes a sound. Because half the time Eloise would wiggle around, maybe like say something or maybe cry a little bit, but then she would fall back asleep all on her own. And I just ended up making it worse by going and waking her up and trying to soothe her. Obviously, if the baby is like scream crying and it clearly needs me, I'll run to it. But if it's just kind of whimpering and crying a little bit, I'm gonna give it a little bit of space before I intervene. Are you going to move to a larger house before baby number 2 arrives? I've been asked this question a lot in like comments on YouTube and stuff. We are not going to be moving before baby number 2 comes. We're going to try to make it work in our house. Like the house we have right now is the perfect size for us right now. But with another baby, it's going to be tricky because we do not have another room upstairs. We do have a spare room downstairs, but I am not ready to move Eloise down there anytime soon, especially because she probably won't even be potty trained by the time this baby arrives. She's not even going to be 2 yet, so I don't want to move her downstairs until she's super confident going up and down the stairs. She can be a little bit independent and she doesn't need me around to go to the bathroom. So that'll be a while yet. So we're just gonna try and make it work. We're gonna have the baby in our room as long as we can. I don't even know if we can fit a playpen in our room, honestly, because it is quite small. And I have no idea how we're gonna fit 2 babies into Eloise's room because that room is so small. And it doesn't even have a closet. Somehow we're gonna have to fit a toddler bed, a crib, and 2 dressers into that room besides toys, besides everything else. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna have to make it work until we do end up moving. Were you confident to try for a second baby? Yes, we were. Having experienced the miscarriage, it made us realize how badly we wanted another baby, but it was also scary at the same time, obviously. But we both had no doubt, like we wanted to try, we really wanted to expand our family, and we were both really ready to take that next step. What has been your favorite stage of Eloise's life so far? I would definitely say like months 10 to 12 were the best. And I don't know if that's because she wasn't teething during that time or I don't know, but she was just so good during those couple of months. She was learning how to bum scoot, so she was gaining a little bit of independence. And she was just such a happy baby during that time. For the rest of her life, she's been tough to handle at times. She's just a high needs baby, which is fine. But those like 2 months were definitely the best. How do you keep sane and get anything done with a whining baby when you're alone? Some days are really hard. Really hard. Sometimes the whining is just constant. I have to learn how to tune it out a little bit, which is really hard to do. I'll try and play like some worship music to distract me and her. I try and do activities like maybe get out of the house because she definitely enjoys getting out of the house. And as far as getting anything done, I try and do as much as I possibly can while she naps because this whining is what I hear all day. Most days. It's tiring. It's hard to listen to all day. I know right now she's definitely teething. She's popping her 2nd molar right now, I think. So, I mean, I know there's a reason behind the whining and I'm trying to be patient with her and I'm trying to just take each day as it comes. But being a hormonal pregnant woman, sometimes it's really hard. Also, I just try to pray to remind myself that, you know, God's in control, God's got this. I have to ask for patience numerous times a day. I'm obviously not perfect. I lose my patience a lot, but those are some things that help. Do you expect to be continuing with YouTube as your children grow up? I'm not totally sure. It kind of depends where YouTube takes me, where life takes us. I have no idea. But I know for sure that I want to continue to do this while my kids are young and while we're still growing our family, because these are the memories that I want to remember forever, and I want to capture them and share them and help people along the way. I know there's a lot of you moms out there who have found my videos to be really helpful and encouraging, and I'm so glad that you have thought that about my videos. So during this time while we're growing our family, I'm definitely going to continue to do YouTube, but I have no idea how long I'm going to do it for or where it's going to take me. If YouTube didn't exist, what do you think you'd want to do? I would probably still be baking right now, actually. I would probably be really working on creating my in-home cake business, which I recently decided to quit for now. If you're new here, you probably don't know that I used to work as a full-time baker at a cafe, and I really enjoyed it. I was really into baking at the time, and I worked there for I think 3 years right after high school. I ended up going on maternity leave and never coming back just because I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so I thought I could maybe start an in-home cake business and still raise my children at home and make some money on the side. But that wasn't working out for me, especially with YouTube and everything. Like it wasn't working out. How do you manage your finances with being young parents? We're pretty loose with our finances. Like we don't have a budget. We're just trying to be really smart with our money. My husband and I are both kind of involved in like the financial things, but my husband is definitely the leader in that department. He pays the bills and he's kind of in charge of like all of our savings and stuff like that. It's not that I don't have access to those accounts, but he's just kind of in charge. So we have like a joint bank account so that we can share everything, we know everything. So we're both kind of involved in the financial things, and we just try to be really smart with our money. We try to set a little bit aside. We try to buy things that we only need, and we try to buy reasonably priced things and not really expensive things. So that's kind of how we are handling the financial situation. How many kids do you want? I want 4. Zach wants 3, and he's like really set on 3, and I'm really set on 4. So I have no idea what's going to happen in the future, but I definitely want 4 kids. Will you find out if you're having a boy or girl before you give birth? This has to be my #1 asked question. We have not decided. I really want to find out the gender. Last time around we did not find the gender. If you haven't been following along since Eloise was born, with her we did not find out the gender until she was born, and we really liked doing that. It was the best decision for that pregnancy, but I feel like this pregnancy is just, it's different. It's under different circumstances. I just would feel a lot more comfortable knowing the gender, because it's kind of eating me alive right now because I don't know the gender. There's a lot of reasons why I want to find out, but Zach is so convinced that he wants to wait. So we have not come to an agreement yet. I want to find out so badly. I could like talk on and on about this because I have so many reasons why I want to find out, but we're undecided as of this point. What are you most looking forward to about becoming a family of 4? Giving Eloise a sibling. I am so excited to see the dynamic change in our family, to see how our relationships changed, how Eloise changes, and how she's gonna like grow into this big sister, and if she's gonna be jealous or if she's gonna love the baby, and to see their relationship blossom as they grow. I am so excited for that. This isn't a question, but thank you for uploading your videos and making me so happy. Oh, you're welcome, and thank you. Is your pregnancy so far similar to your first? Yes, actually it is quite similar. There's a couple differences. Like with this one, I've noticed I've had more headaches and I've been a bit more nauseous, but I haven't thrown up. And with my last pregnancy, I think the biggest thing was that I was just tired all of the time. But that's pretty much the main differences. Other than that, they've been very similar. Would you rather have a sister or brother for Eloise? I know you probably don't care, but thoughts. Actually, I do have thoughts on this. I would love for Eloise to have a sister close to her age, because that is something that I don't have. I have a sister, but she's not close to my age and we're not super close. I would love to give Eloise a sister right now, but of course I also want a boy. I want a boy at some point anyway, so either way, I'm obviously gonna be happy. I just think it would be really great to give Eloise a sister, although I think she would really love a brother. And Zach actually feels the same way about that. Do you have a feeling what the baby's gender is? Actually, I don't. For a little while at the very beginning, I was like, okay, I am so convinced that the baby that we miscarried was a boy and that this baby is a girl. I felt that way for like 3 or 4 days, and then I don't know, I just got confused or something, and now I have no feeling at all. Like, I have no idea. Lots of people are telling me that they think it's a boy, but there are actually some people this time around who think that this baby might be a girl. With Eloise, everybody thought she was a boy. Everybody. There was only like 2 people in our entire family, everybody that we know, who thought she was a girl, and she was a girl. So I don't know what to think. I have no idea. Me and my husband are trying hard to get pregnant. How long did it take you? We are very, very fortunate, and we both times around got pregnant as soon as we started trying. I feel like if I think about wanting to be pregnant, I could be pregnant. And I know that is such a huge, huge blessing, and I'm so grateful. And with the baby that we miscarried, we weren't even trying for that baby, and it happened. We are very, very fortunate in that way. How much do you earn for running Instagram accounts for businesses? I only run an account for one business, and we agreed upon $20 an hour. So what I've kind of done is I've estimated about how much time I will spend in a week on Instagram, like taking photos, editing photos, posting them, stories, all that stuff. And then I went off that estimated time and I just kind of made it a regular thing, if that makes any sense. So each month I get paid the same amount, whether I spend that much time, less time, more time. I'm not super picky about it, because Instagram is a really hard thing to keep track of time, because I will spend 5 minutes posting something, and then I'll spend 20 minutes editing something, and then I'll spend like another 10 minutes posting something, so I never really know exactly how much time. So I just kind of estimated, and that's how we came to an agreement. Home delivery, water bath delivery, what are your thoughts? I have actually considered doing a home delivery. I would prefer a hospital birth, but knowing how fast the birth went with Eloise, I'm terrified that we won't make it to the hospital in time. I mean, again, it could be a longer labor. I have no idea. That's one thing that's really difficult about birth, is you just don't know anything. So for that reason, I have considered doing a home birth. And if I did a home birth, I would obviously want to do like a water birth. But another reason why I'm not going with that route is because we can't fit one of those water tubs in our house. Our house is too small. We can't fit it anywhere in here. So we're sticking with a hospital birth. I have nothing against home births or water births or anything like that, but we feel like the hospital is the best place for me to give birth. But because we are choosing to do a hospital birth, and we will have to drive half an hour to the hospital while I'm in labor, and we'll have to drop Eloise off at parents' house or something. I'm not really sure, but it's gonna be a while before we can actually get to the hospital. Because it's gonna take a while to get there, we are going to educate ourselves on giving birth ourselves in the case that I can't make it to the hospital and end up having a baby on the side of the road or at home or whatever. I'm praying that that doesn't happen, but in the case that it does, we're definitely going to be educating ourselves on what to do in that situation. Birth vlog or no? Definitely doing a birth vlog for sure. Eloise's birth vlog is my favorite video of all time. I am so glad that we recorded that and we have those memories to look back on, because it was the best day of our lives. So absolutely we're going to be doing a birth vlog this time around. Who will help you with Eloise when a baby is coming? It'll be one of our parents. Not sure yet, we haven't asked. It'll be, I guess, whoever is available at the time. I'm hoping that at least one of our parents, if it happens during the day, will be able to leave work instantly so that they can watch Eloise. And if it happens during the night, I guess it's just whoever's willing to wake up. We haven't discussed it. with her parents or anything yet, but one of our parents will watch her. How many hours a week do you work on your YouTube and Instagram? A lot, like over full time. There is so much time spent editing photos, taking photos, thinking of ideas for photos, thinking of ideas for videos, filming videos, editing videos, posting videos, replying to comments. Like, there is a lot of stuff that goes on, plus talking to businesses and creating collaborations with people. Like, there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I feel like lots of people don't know about, and it is absolutely a full-time job. What is different about being pregnant after miscarriage, and how do you keep positive? The biggest difference is fear. There is that constant fear and worry that something is going to go wrong because something's gone wrong before, and you know that it can totally go wrong again. It's really hard. Puppy. It's really hard not to worry, and it's almost hard to enjoy the pregnancy because you're just so worried that something could go wrong. But in order to stay positive, the biggest thing, just prayer. Talking to God, telling God my fears and my worries and my anxiety, and deciding to put my trust in Him and asking for peace, and He has given me so much peace. I mean, I'm not perfect. There are often times when I just am overcome with worry that something is wrong, or that something is going to happen and that the baby isn't okay. This first trimester is especially difficult because not only do I feel like crap, I'm so paranoid and worried because in this first trimester, that is when the risk of miscarriage is the highest. And I can't feel the baby, I can't see the baby, I can't hear the baby's heartbeat unless I'm at the doctor's office. It's really, really hard, and you have no signs that everything is good or not, and it's really hard in the first trimester, so I am so excited to be able to feel the baby move because I will have that reassurance that everything is okay. Did either of you go into further education after high school? We did not. High school is my highest education. Zach is an electrician, so he has been going to school for that, but he's an apprentice. So basically what that means is that he works for a certain amount of hours, and then he's sent to school for 2 months, and then he has to work for a certain amount of hours, go to school for 2 months, and that goes on for 4 years. This is actually his last year, so he goes to school in January and February, and after that, as long as he passes everything, he will be done school and he will be officially a journeyman, so we're very excited for that. Tips for managing the first month with a newborn and people wanting to visit. Zach and I are introverted people. We do not like to have visitors constantly. We like our alone time, so that was one thing we found to be a little bit difficult. Everybody wanted to come all of the time. And it's totally understandable. I mean, she was the first baby on both sides of the family, and the first baby within like our group of friends. She's the first, so everybody wanted to see her. But sometimes we just had to tell people like we would just really need some space right now. We'd really like to just spend a day together as a family. Sometimes it's just really important to let people know how you feel. But yeah, company was great. Like, people were always so willing to help. Lots of people brought us meals, which helped so much. How old am I? I am 21. I am turning 22 in a couple of weeks actually. So I'm gonna be 22 with 2 kids under 2, which is pretty crazy. When I really think about it, it seems really crazy that I am this young with 2 children. Advice for husband and wife who are planning on starting a family. Make sure you talk about it and that you're both on the same page about it, and go in with an open mind because it is a crazy journey and you have no idea what to expect. There's no way of knowing what's gonna happen, if you're gonna get pregnant right away, if you're not, what the pregnancy journey is gonna be like, what the kid is gonna be like. It's a crazy, wild journey, so just prepare yourself, make sure you're on the same page, communicate, definitely communicate, and just be willing to go with the flow. How did your parents react when you and Zach got engaged so young? They were definitely happy for us. In our family, it's really common for people to get married young. It's kind of a thing in the Mennonite community. Lots of people get married young and start having families, and it's just really normal. We got engaged less than a year after we graduated, I think. And we had been together for 2.5 years by that point, so everybody was fully expecting it. Eloise's sleep schedule, bedtime. Does she sleep through now, and when does she drop night feeds? She goes to bed at 8 pretty much every night. It depends on what we're doing that evening. But 8 o'clock is her bedtime. And she'll usually sleep until about 7:30. If she's teething or if she's sick, she will wake up in the middle of the night, and sometimes I will have to nurse her. So we haven't totally dropped night feeds. That's something that'll probably happen when we get farther into the weaning process. But as for a nap, she will nap anywhere between 12 and 1. And she will sleep for anywhere from 1.5 to 3 hours. Just really depends on the day. How did you meet your husband? We actually have a video on my channel that I filmed a long time ago about how we met, and I'll link it in the description box so you can find that. Do you miss having a normal job where you get to see and work with people and get out? I don't, actually. Having YouTube has really helped me in that way. If I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't do YouTube, I would probably really miss my job and I would be really bored and I'd be really lonely. But because I have this hobby, this job that I do at home, it takes up a lot of my time. It gives me a focus, it gives me something to work towards, and I really don't miss going to a job every single day. I love being at home with my daughter and being able to raise her. Are you going to be doing vlogmas this year? I loved your vlogmas series last year. No, I'm not going to be doing vlogmas this year. I'm a lot busier this time around, and my editing style now requires a lot more time than it used to back then. Honestly, I just really don't have the time, and I feel like I would be sacrificing quality for quantity. And I really don't want to sacrifice the quality of my videos. Daily vlogging is not something I think I can handle right now. How much more time do I have left on my timer? I feel like I've been talking forever. Do you feel weird about family and friends watching your videos? I don't feel weird about that. It's more so I feel a little bit weird when an acquaintance will come up to me and they'll say, oh yeah, I've watched all of your videos. I watch you all the time. I know like everything about your life, and I don't know anything about them. I think that's the part that I find to be a little bit weird. I think I need to end this video because Miss Eloise is not very impressed right now, and I'm actually running into a lot of repeat questions, so I really hope that I was able to answer your question. And really sorry if I didn't, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am gonna try and cut it down as much as I possibly can because I have been talking for an hour. But if you guys want to follow me on social media, I'll leave all the links down below, and thank you guys so much for following along on this journey with us, this pregnancy journey, this journey of family. I really appreciate all of you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!